Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is just a very important issue in my district, and I see some other members here, actually all members, who should be concerned about DDT and where it ends up. Mr. Chair and committee members, I am pleased to present AJR 2, which calls upon Congress and the Federal Environmental Protection Agency to take all measures necessary to prevent a DDT dumping site in my district near Catalina Island from causing further harm to our oceans and California citizens. Once championed for its use as a pesticide, today DDT is recognized as one of the first major ecological and public health disasters in the history of chemical engineering. And a lot of younger folk actually don't even know what DDT is. I'll just keep it short and say it's bad. It's bad. People exposed long-term to DDT will often develop permanent nervous system damage and, if pregnant, can have an increased likelihood of premature births. As for wildlife, the effects of DDT are believed to have led to the disappearance of numerous seabirds from the Channel Islands, including species of gulls, pelicans, and cormorants. This is truly devastating to our fragile oceanic ecosystems, as DDT is nearly impossible to remove from the food chain as it builds up in the fatty tissues of various species. All of these problems have been made even worse by the carelessness of those originally tasked with disposing of these harmful chemicals. In 2019, scientists from UC Santa Barbara published their findings from a multi-year examination of a site on the ocean floor just north of Catalina Island. They discovered a long-forgotten dumping ground for toxic waste produced as a byproduct of the DDT manufacturing process. Through the use of underwater submersibles, these scientists were able to prove what had only been rumored before, that thousands of barrels filled with DDT-laced sludge were barged out over the open ocean and tossed into the water, just tossed off a ship. In some instances, the barrels appeared to have been first struck with an axe or a hammer by those originally disposing of them to ensure that they would sink to the ocean floor, a practice that nearly guaranteed their toxic contents would seep out into the surrounding fragile waters. Scientists estimate that more than 750 tons of waste could have gone into the waters around Catalina. In order to be proper stewards of our natural resources, we must wrestle with the mistakes of the past and address the damage before it gets worse. AJR 2 calls upon our federal government to take all necessary steps to stop the harm this site continues to inflict on California's residents and our fragile wildlife.